Hey everyone, before we dive into today's video about this incredible Jimmy Kimmel interview, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our celebrity news breakdowns. When Robert Downey Jr. went on Jimmy Kimmel's show, the audience expected their usual friendly chat with witty banter. But Jimmy had different plans. He wanted to provoke Robert and break through his charismatic, quick-witted personality. The show began normally. Robert walked onto the stage dressed sharply in a stylish suit with tinted glasses, his trademark confidence evident. He moved with that familiar swagger, offered a quick wave with a smirk, and sat down. Behind the scenes, some producers were excited about trying to get a reaction from Robert, saying he was too smooth and too controlled. A woman named Maggie overheard them and secretly recorded their conversation on her phone. Jimmy started by introducing Robert as the comeback king with more one-liners than his movie scripts. Robert was there to talk about his documentary about recovery and finding meaning in second chances. When Jimmy tried to keep things superficial and joke-heavy, Robert maintained his composure, but with an edge, saying, "Humor isn't just about deflection. Sometimes it's about revealing truth." The interview took a bad turn when Jimmy showed memes of Robert on the screen. One showed Robert during his troubled past with mocking captions, and another zoomed in on the sobriety chip he sometimes carries. Jimmy made jokes about these images, but Robert didn't laugh. Maggie, watching backstage, knew that sobriety token had special meaning for Robert. It represented his hard-fought battle with addiction. When Jimmy asked if Robert was going all serious on us or just playing another character, Robert replied with characteristic directness, "The battles I've fought taught me that jokes can hide the hardest truths." The audience grew uncomfortable as they sensed the tension rising. Jimmy tried to change the mood by suggesting they play a game called True or False, RDJ Edition. But Robert refused, saying, "This isn't what we agreed to discuss." As Jimmy became frustrated, Robert remained composed but increasingly firm. Then Robert began sharing personal struggles from his life, his battles with addiction, his time in prison, losing friends to substance abuse, and rebuilding his career from nothing. He explained that his wit comes from having learned to find humor in the darkest places. When Jimmy tried again to lighten the mood, Robert said, "When you turn someone's recovery into a punchline, what message are you really sending?" The tension peaked when Jimmy accused Robert of thinking he was better than everyone. Robert responded that it's not arrogant to protect your dignity, but it is arrogant to use someone's painful past as fodder for entertainment. Jimmy lost his temper and yelled at Robert, shocking the audience. Instead of firing back with a cutting remark as everyone expected, Robert calmly reminded Jimmy about an interview where Jimmy had talked about his own insecurities and family struggles. "Tonight you chose ratings over respect," Robert said quietly. The audience began to clap, not out of excitement, but out of recognition of this truth. Jimmy became flustered, knocking over his mug and spilling water across the desk. He couldn't regain control of the interview. Robert stood up with composure, adjusted his jacket, thanked the audience for witnessing what matters beyond the punchlines, and walked off stage. The audience gave him a standing ovation while Jimmy remained seated, not looking up. The clip of this interview went viral immediately, with headlines praising Robert's authenticity and courage. Outside the studio, Maggie showed Robert that the video had already reached 1 million views. Robert looked at it briefly and said, "Maybe now they'll listen to the message instead of just the messenger," before walking away into the night. What did you think about this powerful confrontation between Jimmy Kimmel and Robert Downey Jr.? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this analysis, please smash that like button and subscribe to the channel for more celebrity insights. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.